And it's a good afternoon to Gelding. We're back on Friday afternoons. Bit difficult to work out which is our correct time, but afternoons seem to be the flavour of the month so far. I think we've only done one live show so far.
Yes, good afternoon, Professor. Good afternoon, listeners. The Friday afternoon seems to sit fairly well, Professor, for both of us. Got to admit, you're looking very relaxed this Friday afternoon, sitting back there.
Oh, well, hey, there's a great weekend coming up and been looking at the form, so feeling very, very comfortable. And we didn't have a bad week last week. Another week of what could have been, Gelding?
Oh, Professor, almost there. Look, we were down to 25%, but an almost. But still, I suppose the winner that we got for the listeners, and then followed up by the Professor Parlays and some of the good figures that came out of that, which you will talk about a little bit later on. Professor could have made it a profitable little weekend.
Well, it would have been a profitable weekend for one of those regular viewers of the show, Gelding, who we know follows religiously the Professor's Parlay.
Yes, and we'll send a cheery out to Brett Hogan. And can we look outside for brown paper bags, Professor?
Maybe, Gelding, maybe. Anyway, listen, before we start the show, got to say there's a little like button down below us. We want people to press that, and we also want people to subscribe so they'll know when all the great Sportsfan radio shows are on our YouTube channel.
Yes, always good, especially the rugby show, the rugby league show with you and Paul Delligan. Always good to listen to, Professor, and looking forward to when the Sportsfans crew gets together again.
Well, as I said, I think last week, Gelding, we're stuck on 499. We need one show to get us over 500. We're just struggling to get there at the moment.
Will you lead us through the banner, Professor? Or will there be a bit of pushing and shoving between Cooter and the judge to lead us out?
Oh, it might be a bit of pushing and shoving. The giraffe might stretch his neck out to get through first, Gelding.
Oh, well, he's never been known to miss out on anything, has he?
No, he has not. Anyway, Gelding, we're going to Caulfield tomorrow. It's only 9 races, Gelding. What happened to the 10th race? Did it fall off the face of the earth?
Yes, the committee had a meeting apparently 2 weeks ago, and they just said, we'll do a members' day as a 9-day meeting. Don't want to give the members too much.
All right. First race is at 12:15 p.m, Gelding. They wanted us all get home before dark. The last race is at 4:55 p.m, so a very early finish.
Very good finish, Professor. Now, without the daylight saving, lucky we'll be getting some good weather tomorrow rather than some of the dark weather was down for Warrnambool. We finally got some rain last week, which was good. Oh, excuse me, Professor. It should be a lovely day out of Caulfield tomorrow.
Yeah, it should. The feature race is race 8, Gelding, the anniversary Vars. It's a listed race over 1,600 metres. The tracks are good for the rail. Gelding, for Members' Day, the rail is in the true position.
Yes, coming back from being 9 metres out, Professor. So, look, as we say to the listeners every show, especially at Caulfield and Moonee Valley, they're the tracks that you can normally tell whether there's any track bias involved. Caulfield back in the true position. On a good day, a bit of rain, I'll be looking for horses kind of up and in, Professor, or it's another way of saying kind of on pace or on the fence. So tends to be an advantage when the rail's in the true position at Caulfield.
And given it's Members' Day, Gelding, will you be heading out there?
No, unfortunately not, Professor. Got a big couple of weeks coming up, so be staying at home watching on the TV.
All right. What are your two best bets for tomorrow's racing?
Professor, I'm mid to late in the day. First bet is a race 6, horse number 3, Immediacy, trained by Busserton and Young, and to be ridden by the informed Blake Shin. Riding very, very well, Blake Shin. This 4-year-old Terrazino mare, Professor, won beautifully last start at Mornington in the Metro meeting held down at Mornington. Won over 2,000 metres. Look, it either wins or it misses this horse. It's had 11 starts for 4 wins, coming up to almost 400,000 in prize money, Professor. So that's rather nice. So, look, I reckon it may take some beating tomorrow. It's been, as I said, it raced very, very well. To be ridden by Blake Shin, coming from barrier 4, over 2,000 metres, should just about get the run of the race, Professor, and they're fair in the Chairman's Club race. Benchmark 100, I think it should be too strong. Then, Professor, I'm taking a leap of faith in Kieran Ma as a trainer. The best horse racing at Caulfield tomorrow is race 8, number 1, Pride of Jenny. Heard Kieran Ma interviewed after its last run in the Australia Cup, which was probably Pride of Jenny's worst run in its entire career, Professor, was beaten at the turn and weakened to be beaten by something like 15 lengths, I think. If I have a quick look here in the Cup, beaten 15.7 lengths, Professor. That's not the Pride of Jenny we know. Look, we know Pride of Jenny had a bleeding attack a year ago. They've brought it back for racing as an older mare, a 7-year-old mare. So Kieran Ma and the owners obviously think she's still got something for her. The start before the Australia Cup, she raced at Caulfield in a Group 2 race and won that by 2.8 lengths. Look, the Pride of Jenny of a year ago in this race, Professor, you'd be getting $1.10. Tomorrow it's at $2.25. I trust Kieran Ma, who I heard interviewed saying this is a preparation race for the Queensland Carnival, be going up there. I'm sure if Pride of Jenny doesn't win this race tomorrow, Professor, they will retire her for a broodmare careers. But look, I'm prepared to take the 2.25, and I'll be taking the 2.25 now of Pride of Jenny tomorrow, and put all my faith in Kieran Ma and his training ability to get this horse right. So my 2 tips tomorrow, Professor, are race 6, number 3, and race 8, number 1. And you like, Professor?
Yes, Gelding, I'm going earlier than you tomorrow. Race 3, the Henley Holmes Handicap. It's an open race for 3-year-olds over 1,100 metres. I like in this one, Gelding, horse number 11, No Fooling, a Kieran Ma horse. Prefer it to the other Kieran Ma horse in the race.
Right.
Who we were talking off air about.
Who would that be, Professor?
Scampi.
Oh, do you have your scampi with some seafood sauce?
Oh, yes. I definitely love scampi with seafood sauce, Gelding. It's a delicious dish. There's no doubt about that. No Fooling's coming out of barrier 8, Gelding. It's only had the 1 start, so it's got the 100% win and place rate. It's a 3-year-old Alabama Express, Gelding. It's up in class after a maiden win at Cranbourne 3 weeks ago. Obviously, this connections think it has ability because after that only 1 run, it's now in a 3-year-old open race. 5 kilos lighter though tomorrow, Gelding.
Yes. Races in some pretty famous colours, Professor. The Yulong stable. So, and Kieran Ma, again, a very, very good judge of a horse. So if they're jumping it up from a Cranbourne maiden, which it won fairly impressively, I'd be following them. I like the tip, Professor.
Good each way odds too, Gelding. Currently you can get $6 and $2.10. So we'll certainly, if that one gets up, it'll be a very good start for GM Racing tomorrow.
Yes, be a good start for the parlays.
And my second selection, Gelding, is in race 4, the Ive Handicap. It's an open race for 3-year-olds over 1,400 metres. This one I like, number 1, Gelding, the top weight, no strings attached, all one word. Coming out of barrier 5, it's had only 6 starts, but very impressive, 3 wins and 2 placings. So a 50% win rate, 83% place rate. That ticks a couple of boxes for us, Gelding, straight away.
Professor, I like it, and as I said, it was going to be one of my tips until you picked it. So I'm right behind you with again Blake Shin riding this horse and running second last time in a listed race, Professor.
Yes, at Randwick, Gelding. That's what I liked about it, and it's dropped back in class now. So before that, it had won 3 straight in this campaign. I did like Sneaky Sunrise in this race, Gelding. It's one that we've been on before, but it got scratched, so I didn't have to worry about it. I was getting a bit edgy about it, but they scratched Sneaky Sunrise, so that's gone. Blake Shin, you're quite right, Gelding. He's in career form, 15% over his career, but over the last 50, 24% he's riding at, and of course he leads the Metro and State Jockeys Championship.
Well, Professor, hurting again, knowing that he set himself a target this year to ride 200 winners in the season. So, he's out there, he's riding, and he's getting plenty of rides, and he's riding everywhere. So you can do a lot worse than following someone who's aiming to win 200 wins in a season, Professor.
Exactly, Gelding. And in the Metro Championship, he's 5 ahead of Craig Williams, and in the All-State Championship, he's 29 ahead of Jamie Mott. So I think the state one he's got sewn up. But Craig Williams, see how he goes in the Metro. But Blake Shin certainly at the top of his form at the moment.
Oh, both very good, all good riders, Professor. As you said, but it will be interesting to see. And you could add Damien Lane to that list, but I think Damien's off riding in Japan at the moment, so could be very interesting. But we'll get there, Professor. Yes,
and Gelding horse trained by Trent Basutin and Natalie Young, also training one of yours. They're in career form as well, 13% over their career, but over the last 50, 20%, Gelding. That's an excellent strike rate for trainers.
Busselton and Young training out of Cranbourne, Professor, riding very well. And I noticed Blake Shin was riding a few of their horses down at Warrnambool during the week. So obviously got a very, very good partnership going.
And for such a good race record for this horse, Gelding, you can get good odds tomorrow, $2.50 and $1.22 at the moment.
Well, I like it, Professor.
So as I said. Yeah, go on, Gelding.
As I said, it would have been one of my picks, but you beat me to it.
All right, Gelding. So my 2 for tomorrow, race 3, horse 11, no fooling, and race 4, horse number 1, no strings attached. Now let's turn to the successful Professor's Parlay. Gelding, we got up last week.
Well done, Professor. It was a nice little win, wasn't it?
It was, Gelding, both the win and the place. Benegill was very good to us. It saluted. And geez, Port only just got up over North. I was a bit worried there at one stage.
Yes, but well picked. Well done.
And Hawthorn accounted for West Coast at Marvel, another one of their home grounds. The winning parlay paid $17.65, Gelding, and the place parlay paid $8.80. So a return of $26.45 last week for the Professor's Parlay for a $10 investment. So what do we say, 150% return?
Well done, Professor. Well done.
All right, Gelding.
So where does that put us with the percentages?
Okay, Gelding. So that gives us 8 from 19, which puts us at 42%.
Beautiful, Professor. As I said, these percentage rates are way above. You can go into tipping services, and if they're giving you a 33% return just on their horse tips, they're claiming that as, hey, we're good. You're getting over 40%, not only tipping the horses, but also 2 other sporting features. So well done.
All right, Gelding. So tomorrow's Professor's Parlay, we're going for race 4, horse 1, no strings attached. Clearly, from what you and I have both said, we both like the horse. So that's our agreed bet of the day, and especially when we've got an informed jockey and an informed training partnership getting that horse to go around. We think that's the most likely successful horse tomorrow. And we'll parlay that into Hawthorn to beat Richmond, Hawthorn currently 4th on the ladder. They've won 5 from 7, Gelding, so they haven't put a foot wrong too many times. They score on average 93 points per game. Unfortunately, your Tigers, Gelding, 16th, only won 2 from 7. Gelding, they concede 107 points on average per game. That's not going to get it done.
Don't hurt me too much, Professor. Don't. The facts aren't looking good for us.
No, well, they concede 107 points per game, Gelding. They only score on average 69 points per game. That's what the reason they've only won 2 from 7. So a bit hard to be successful when your average scoring values are like that.
When you got a 40% differential between scoring and giving away, Professor, you're not going to win too many, are you?
No, you're not, and they haven't, Gelding. The bookies don't like them either. The line's 48.5.
Yeah, and I hope not, Professor. Can I just hope maybe we could quieten some of these Hawthorn fans?
Well, live in hope, Gelding.
Okay.
All right, we'll parlay that into recently the very disappointing GWS Giants to beat Sydney in the Battle of the Bridge, Gelding. It's the Battle of the Bridge at the SCG.
The Battle of the Bridge will be interesting.
It will be. The GWS Giants 6th. They've won 4 from 7, Gelding. They've been beaten recently by the Dogs and the Crows. Sydney 14th, Gelding. That's in uncharted territory for them over the last few years. They've only won 2 games. They've lost 3 in a row. Maybe this isn't their year.
Yeah, maybe a few injuries to key players. They're missing their captain Mills and Gelding. So, maybe different. They're a bit of a query over their forward line and back line when they're swinging McCartan from forward back to forward. I don't know, Professor, you've been involved in football, in coaching levels and administration and that. If you've got a strength like Paddy McCartan at full back, why do you take that strength away and put him somewhere else?
Well, good question, forward. Gelding. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul, aren't you?
Well, don't you? You keep your stars where they play well and dominate, and you look for other fixes in their trouble areas, don't you?
Yeah, you do, Gelding. And Sydney's won 2, and one of their wins has been against North. So, I don't think we can take too much from that. So the Professor's parlay for tomorrow is race 4, horse 1 at Caulfield, no strings attached, into Hawthorn to beat Richmond, into the GWS Giants to beat Sydney. So there we are, Gelding.
Oh, I like it, Professor.
Another racing show done and dusted.
Professor, can I just say I do like the look of that parlay, so I might just have a little bit myself as well.
All right, Gelding. Well, until next week, and that's racing, it's good luck.
And good punting.